All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. It's time for current events in the online fitness community. And let me get through these current events, and I will get to all of your questions from you lovely guys and gals. I had someone mention to me this morning, and I'm going to check it out. They're like, Jason, Max Uca got hurt. How does that happen? He does nothing but machines. How does he have a shoulder injury? So I went to check it out. Now, keeping in mind, I did a natty or not on Max Uca, and I essentially said, his physique is 100% product of drugs. He has no clue how to train. He does not even know the most basic fundamentals of lifting. He has no business giving anybody advice. He does not know how to train. He trains like a pussy with light weights for low reps on machines. Guy uses pretty significant amounts of 19 NORs, probably NPP or tren in very significant amounts. The trend would explain easy injuries. Again, guy has no clue what he's doing. He is purely a drug physique, 100% drugs. So, and he has over 1 million followers. So it's a younger guy. And then I listened to the video. Keep in mind, 50% of the video of his injury was an advertisement for protein cookies. So the guy eats a trash dumpster diet too. Standing around eating foods that cause inflammation, that cause injuries. By the way, if you guys would click like for Daddy, I would appreciate it. Get those likes up so we get people in here. Come on now. Give Daddy some likes. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. You're always consistent on it. So I'm listening to his explanation. So if anyone who's chiming in, they don't understand why he got hurt. First of all, the guy says, well, I took a vacation. He hadn't lifted in a month and a half. Again, already a blithering idiot. You have a shoulder injury, so you're not going to train your legs. You're not going to train your other side. Okay? That is stupid. That alone, there we go. That's all you need to know about Max. We could just end the video and be like, guy's a blithering idiot who knows nothing about training. That statement alone. Shoulder injury, but I haven't lifted for a month and a half. Have skipped my legs, didn't train my unhurt side. Okay, done. We can ignore everything he says about training pretty much for forever, right? We can just ignore everything he says about training from now on. Done. But let's listen to what happened with the injury. First of all, the guy says, well, decided to take a vacation. So I'm like, I've been cutting, I earned a deload. So he took 8 days off from lifting. I can tell you right now, that's not the wisest idea. When my lifters go on vacations, I want them to lift light. I have them do at least a couple basic lifts. So usually I'm like, I have them at least do their basic lifts. If they do, say, squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press as their primary exercises, I have them do those 4 lifts on vacation. They skip everything else. They need to be in the gym for 20 minutes doing those. We don't take downtime. Again, you want to detrain, you want to have injuries, you also want to get hurt. Okay, take complete downtime. Let's do that. All right, said he earned it because he's been cutting. Well, no, you still need to do some actual lifting. Okay, your time off should still be a little bit of lifting. At least come in and bench 225 for a set or two. At least go 315 on the bar and do some squats. Do something. You don't just take downtime for a deload. Down. Take some bands with you. Okay, this is standard stuff, right? This is standard stuff, guys. This is basic entry-level stuff that you should all know already. Stuff I deal with as a coach every day. All right. So then he's like, he gets home, tries to do a workout. He says, oh, I felt really, really weak. Well, no crap. You took 8 days off. What do you think was going to happen? You weren't going to detrain? And I got really sore. And then he got the flu the next day. So then he didn't train again with the flu. Now, he didn't properly hydrate. I can tell you right now, he's describing before he went to the gym, he decided he was ready to train again, and he went and moved around, wasn't lifting, and he felt a massive cramp through his chest and shoulder. It cramped up. Yes, because you had the flu and you didn't properly hydrate. Again, Team Blaha clients, when you have a viral infection, what is the line that I send to you guys over and over and over and over? Ask Doug. Ask client Doug. If Doug, you guys would go ask him, hey, what does Coach Blaha tell lifters when they have any sort of virus and they're sick and they can't lift? He'll say, fluids, salts, carbohydrates. Coach Blaha will say fluids, salts, carbohydrates. Fluids, salts, carbohydrates. is a 3-word sentence every day. He will send it to you while you are sick in your messenger, because that is the appropriate response when you're a lifter with a viral infection of any type. You have to stay hydrated. Basic stuff. Basic stuff, guys. Like, if you don't know this stuff, you need a coach. I'm going to tell you right now, everything that I just said about the downtime, everything that I said about the hydration, if you don't already know all of that, you need a coach. Absolutely. You're not qualified to train yourself. You're just not. This is basic stuff. I can tell you why he cramped in the shower. He detrained, and then he got dehydrated with the flu and didn't appropriately hydrate and get enough electrolytes and fluids. Therefore, he cramped. So therefore, then when he got to the gym, he was still dehydrated and had a cramp, and he pulled something. Easily explainable. He's like, I don't know what caused it. I do. As a full-time coach, I know exactly what caused it. First, you detrained. 2, you allowed yourself to get dehydrated while further detraining. You did not properly hydrate. And then you try to go do your silly workouts. He doesn't build stabilizers or anything. He does nothing but machines. Okay? This is all explainable. Now, the worst part, I'm hurt, so I'm not training. Really? Any of my clients who have their arm or a leg in a cast, what do you think we do? Do you think we take the week off? Do you think that because you broke your arm and you have a cast on, you don't go find a safety bar and squat 3 days after you get the cast on? That's how it works. You got a cast on your left arm. Well, he's got machines. Why aren't you training the right? What do medical doctors tell you when you lift it, when you have a limb and a cast? What is the research on that show? Anybody? I've done videos on this. What does the research show? When you have a lifter who has an arm or a leg in a cast, if they train the other side, it transfers over and it helps retain some of the muscle while in the cast. This is basic exercise science knowledge for lifters. This is basic stuff. These things I'm telling you are the minimum amount you should have before you even make your first video discussing lifting. This guy has over 1 million fitness followers. This is the level. This is the level of knowledge that he has. And you've watched his training, his garbage. This is what happens when you know literally nothing and you just shoot a bunch of shred. James, it's not going to hypertrophy it, but it will slow the atrophy. All right, James, it will slow the atrophy. Doesn't mean you're going to keep all of it. You're going to lose muscle on the casted limb. It's going to happen. Training the other limb reduces the amount that you lose. Okay. Get over some of these questions. Hey, everyone, who's Max Uca? I guess nobody would know it. Well, they didn't know it should listen to Max. He's a good boy. Hopefully you are a dog. We got that like. First off, get those dang likes up for Daddy Coach. Thank you, Atomic. Joe says, I'm between 17 and 20% body fat. Should I bulk to gain muscle, or will I slowly gain muscle if I lose fat while cutting down? I would say you could slow cut from where you are and probably make some gains. Keep the protein high, keep your training on point, keep that training dialed in, and you can make some gains on your way down. Remember to like the video for Daddy. Thank you. Do you even lift? Daniel Otis, isn't that the fraud who still claims Daddy to all his pencil neck followers? That clown. Yeah, I mean, the guy, look at his training. He is all drugs, guys. Best water brand, I don't know. Best oxygen brand, I don't know. The air you're breathing. Interesting. I didn't know it slows atrophy. Yeah. I mean, this has been studied, and it's interesting stuff because this is stuff that we needed to know. That's why they studied it. All right. This is great knowledge. That's why you need to look into stuff like that in sports sciences, because it applies to all athletes. Because people get injured, they get in cast. But yeah, the research on casted limbs showing that you can slow the atrophy by training the other side. I mean, that's super important information for us to have. Hey, coach, should you practice fasting at all intermittent? Yeah, I've been intermittent fasting for a really long time. I've eaten before noon maybe 12 times in the past year. And it's usually still after 11. Let's see. Do you think Max is natty? I've already told you what drugs he uses. Can too much protein cause constipation? Not directly. If you're dehydrated, you're not getting enough water or fiber. Yes. Victor says, hi, master. Hello. Comment one if you're all taco, no burrito. That would be me. I'm strictly taco, no burrito, but $20 is $20. Speaking of which, remember to follow me on all my social media, guys, including Instagram, Facebook, and if you're so inclined, my OnlyFans, but that's $15 a month. And also, we got 13 likes. Let's get those likes up. Get those likes up today. Max, did you see this as natty as Mike O'Hearn? No doubt, right? He might even use more than Mike. I think Mike is very conservative. How's the OnlyFans? It's making money every day. I mean, it's been slowly growing, right? It's been slowly growing. It's been making a little bit of money every single day, 7 days a week. Let's go to add in the $20 exactly, bro. Brother, you look veiny as hell, huge veins. Thank you. We're all coming along here. How are the forearms today, by the way? It's again forearm rating time. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are we rating the forearms? With 1 being natural hypertrophy's little skinny toothpick forearms from doing the rice bucket challenge, and a 10 being a giant veiny horse cock. Where are we at on the scale of 1 to 10 here today? Toss me some numbers, guys. How many OnlyFans followers? How many do you think I'm at? Based upon the stats you're seeing there, when you go look at the thing. I can't imagine even Mike could abuse and blast gear and keep skin. I think, honestly, Mike O'Hearn, I've said this for a long time, and people are like, really? I think Mike O'Hearn is a very, very conservative user. I think Mike has just slowly built muscle on very small amounts of gear for the past 20, 30 years. Like, I don't think he ever blasts large amounts. And you can tell by his health, you can tell by his skin. Mike is not like an abuser. And I know the dude, people are like, he's crazy, jacked, and strong. What do you mean? Years and years and years and years and years and years of continual conservative use with phenomenal training. Like, I mean, again, I tell people, say what you want about Mike O'Hearn. You can say whatever you want, but you cannot claim his training isn't dialed in. Mike O'Hearn, as far as guys out there who have their training dialed in, is in that top 0.5%, top 0.1% of serious lifters. His training is dialed in. Absolutely dialed in. And you can tell when you watch what he does. You look at how he talks about training. You look at his programming. Mike knows training programming. Like, I will give credit. We can talk about the fake natty. We can talk about the duck eggs, all that nonsense. But you have to give credit where credit is due. The dude's training is flawless. Straight up. You combine flawless training like that for 30 plus years with good genetics and a very small amount of gear. You get Mike O'Hearn. That's what happens. Forearms looking girthy, coach, 10 out of 10. Is a narrow stance on squats better for hitting more muscles in the legs versus wide? No, it's going to be a little more quad dominant depending upon the amount of knee flexion that occurs. Right? Wider stance may hypothetically give you a little more adductor and glute, but all squats are very dominant in the adductors and glutes. So stance width will impact the amount of quads if it affects the amount of knee bend that you personally get. Mike is incredibly consistent training and diet. He's a freak of just, and I'll give him that too. I mean, people are like, oh, it's just all genetics. He's got genetics, yeah. But Mike's disciplined. The dude is disciplined. His training stays dialed in. His diet stays dialed in for decades. It matters. Do you think that Steve Reeves, man, that is a super complex topic. Hey, David, why don't I say, think about it from a marketing perspective. It makes you go look at the thing. It's very straightforward. I mean, I'll just be honest and let me not lie or deceive you. I don't tell you purely because it makes people go click on it to check the statistics. And then that can improve traffic and drive. So by me not answering, I'm actually marketing. Fair? How's that for a non-bullshit honest answer? How often do you get that from somebody? Has it been more MILFs or dudes subscribing to the OnlyFans? I feel like it must be MILF. No, dude, MILFs don't pay anything extra. So I do have some women who follow it. I can tell you right now, women do not buy pay-per-view content. Zero. I have not had a single woman pay for any of the pay-per-view content outside of the $15 a month. Just straight up. I got dudes who spent $50+ just for that person alone. Just for the tip stuff, just for the stuff that comes through as paid content. Just imagine an alternative world, and I've had it less than a month. Just imagine an alternative world where coach uses, oh my gosh. Sorry, I need to not read this. Just get rid of them. So they don't clutter the thing. Coach, why the often training routine change? It's not really that often. I'm really back to what I did for years and years. And everybody does that. I mean, honestly, if you were to go with the conjugate philosophy, you technically make changes every week for your entire life. If we were to truly go with the philosophy I promoted long-term with conjugate, technically you make weekly changes. They're intentional. There's a structure to those changes. Hey, David, well, why don't you just go check and see? Translation, maybe you need to click on it. Here, David, here's my thing. Here's my thing. Go check it out. All right. Your neck looks thicker. I do train my neck sometimes. I hate the genetics argument, coaches. Genetics plus 45 years of unbelievable discipline. Same with you. Your strength and physique is discipline. What type of package picture we expect to see on OnlyFans? Atomic, I don't know. Go check it out. Hey, John, why? Because it's a stalking level question. And I don't want stalkers in here with all their nonsense, so you get to go in timeout too. And it's very simple. This has nothing to do with what my channel is about. Out of here. Hey, Daw, that's not how it works, dude. You're not going to come in here and act like you're going to dominate me. That ain't how it works, homie. I will put a dog leash around your neck and put my foot on your back and make you pay me. You need to go work overtime. Buy daddy a new guitar. Jason's been preaching conjugate for over a decade now. Exactly. What did I say even years ago? I used to complain about conjugate every time I quit, and then I go back to it for 20 years. Over and over and over. Coach, your traps need some work. Blah, blah, blah. Your forearms are huge. Appreciate it. And I don't have good forearm genetics. People ask that. I used to have small forearms. Pulling tons and tons and tons of pulling without straps. A little bit of hammer curls. Laughing about you sent him the link. Exactly. Hey, Gaines, whenever I get tired of conjugate, I do that, and then I always come back to it over and over and over. I've run it for a few years straight before. Sometimes I run it a couple years straight. How can you promote healthy after you? I literally own a business. Bye. All right. Man, you guys don't understand business clearly. There's a bunch of no business mofos. Why do so many guys worry about my money who clearly don't do business? They're not business people. They're not business men. Right? Broke as a joke clowns who want to talk to me who have no concept of business. None. Hey, doll, since you're not behaving, daddy's going to put you in the corner. You can come back tomorrow. You don't get the sass. Is a 315 pause bench at 170 good for a natty? I think so. They're not businessmen like you, coach. That's right. I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man. Back in high school, I used to watch your 10x3 videos and you were building back using it and did the same. It was kind of fun. Yeah, they can be fun. Max got injured at least twice already. Actually, a few months ago, he got injured back doing deadlifts and tried doing deadlifts after months of not doing them and instantly got injured. You know, and that's the thing. I mean, we can talk about viruses, but when I had the Rona, I pulled 500-pound deadlift for 10 reps on camera with the Rona, or it might have been 8 while I had it still. And I still couldn't taste or smell anything. People say Jason doesn't have kids, but he just put one of them in timeout. Yep. Johnny says, sorry for the bicep advice yesterday. All good, Johnny. You can post again today. Just behave. What do you think that Robbie Robinson is? I think he's 78. Yeah. I mean, Robbie, again, let's talk about discipline. Look how lean that dude is. I mean, he's jacked and lean at 78. I mean, you want to talk about discipline. Another example of a dude who just lived discipline his whole life. Again, we can argue genetics, obviously. Robbie Robinson's obviously a genetic freak. That dude is staying that lean still in his 70s while lifting and being pretty jacked. Again, dietary discipline. And just consistency. Consistency goes a long way in whatever you happen to do. All right. I'm making all kinds of gains. Yeah, there you go, Samuel. That's what it's all about, man. You got to make them gains, right? Making all types of gains, just like the Hodge friends. You guys remember them? Got to make all kinds of gains, man. Those guys were the OGs. They were the first people to give me a shout out. I gained 3,000 followers within a matter of days when the Hodge twins shouted me out in 2012 originally. So nothing but love for those guys. I had 1,500 followers. They shouted me out and I blew up to 4,500 followers in 72 hours. So I'm always going to have nothing but love for those dudes. All right. Coach thought the new Wes Watson body cam footage, you think the poor, no, dude, Wes Watson is clearly going to do some time. Like, dude, he's screwed. I saw the footage. And then somebody screaming the N-word in there too. It's like, dude, you were so screwed. Because it might have been him who did it. Like, dude, they're going to charge you with a hate crime. You done really messed up, man. I'm just saying. Do you ever do decline bench press? I like decline. I don't have a good setup for it. Thank you, brother, for your replies. You're welcome, Victor. Heisman are some of the funniest on YouTube still. Yep. You mentioned having a naturally high appetite, like being able to gain weight on only whole foods. Does the hunger with dieting get easier? No. For me, the hunger doesn't get easier. If I really want to lose weight, I just have to do more activity, more fasted cardio, stuff like that, because I get even hungrier on a diet. Just like when I lost over 100 pounds before, I mean, I really just had to burn through it. Right. I just had to burn through it. What do you think of 315, 455, 585 for a lightweight natty? Like, I think that's very elite for someone in that situation. Going to jail with a hate crime? Yeah, dude. No, you don't want that. Because, I mean, they may try to charge him with one. Again, it being Florida, they may not, but still. Because in there, you heard him. And I had some other people who said they heard it. So I'm not sure. But they'll probably check that in court and the DA will pull it up. But it did sound like he dropped an N-bomb in there. And dude, you're a white dude whooping some dude's ass and you drop an N-bomb and you get on camera. I'm just saying, man, you messed up. You know, that is going to look terrible. That's going to look terrible for him in court. You know, it's like there's a camera rolling, man. Bro. At least look over, like do the white dude look over your shoulder. You know, make sure somebody's not filming you or something before you drop that word. Oh my God. Wes wouldn't be around to talk if he was trying that with you. Heard that Kelly Muscle had a heart attack. He's down. Yeah, he did. Joe Great Lifts. How are you commenting? Well, what? How many times per week are you benching these days? It'll be twice. So it's going to be one max effort and then one speed day from here on. So we did the max bench today, and I didn't do any rep work. I just did supplemental lifts, and then we'll come in and do about 9 or 8 to 10 sets of speed bench on Thursday. So Jason, would be best to use all stances for squats then? Not necessarily, but it's not a bad idea to sometimes train some of them. Dude, okay, claiming Wes isn't is like claiming I'm not because I'm Slavic and Eastern European. It's like, come on, dude. We're close enough for legal purposes, you know? I mean, we might not be technically considered by some groups, but, you know, we're close enough, homie. Joe, beautiful physique, daddy. Rule number 1 of 2025, there's always a camera rolling, right? Everybody has a camera now. Dumb to do dumb shit in public. I agree, man. All I'm saying is, look, you're caught on camera whooping some black dude's butt, beating the hell out of him, kicking him on the ground. Probably don't want to be filmed saying the N-word on top of it. That's all I'm saying, dude. You know, how else we put it? Wes is a dumb motherfucker. I'm just saying, dude. Try not to drop too many F-bombs in the stream. But, I mean, realistically, dude, that's just dumb. Why are people so obsessed with your finances, Daddy Coach? Clear to me you're making money on, especially on OnlyFans. Because they're obsessed with it atomic. I have some insiders inside that group who I asked, are they just trolling or do they really believe it? That all these stalkers actually do think I'm bored. That's the crazy part. No, they really believe it. Brother, why are so many elites that died like Cedric? I don't know, man. Who's dumber, Coach Hulk Hogan or Wes when they drop it? Yeah, I guess, I don't know. Wes is probably dumber than Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's been pretty successful in a lot of ways. That was dumb too, though, man. It's like Hulk, man. And I loved Hulk Hogan when I was a kid. He was one of my second favorite wrestler. Like, he was Ultimate Warrior first. How many? All my plates are 100%, dude. And I'm not going to discuss. I've already explained all that in detail. For those who don't know the reference, I benched 365 several months before an event. I had a shoulder inflammation issue, had to scale back and was benching 315 the last month before that meet. By the way, I was only benching 315 the last month before the meet for people who actually watched my vlogs because of the shoulder inflammation. And then on the platform, I got 308 really easy, and I tried to go up to like 330 something, and I missed it. I couldn't lock it. You know, it happens. He let his anger and ego take over. Yeah, but do you even lift? Come on, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. All right, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. If you're a saltine American like me, okay, all right, you're a saltine American, and you happen to just drop the N-bomb when you're really angry. How much are you using it, you know, in your day-to-day life? Like, you know, realistically, I'm just saying, dude, I'm not trying to call the dude out on it. All I'm saying is, if you're a saltine American and you get angry enough that the word just pops out, you're probably used to using it semi-frequently. I'm not saying 100% chance. I'm not saying with absolute certainty. I'm just saying, no, Tristan, those are not even remotely true. That is completely ludicrous. Tristan, what have I said on that many times? If it were true, I would capitalize on it. The problem is it would come out that it's not true, and then I would be caught in a massive lie. So let's just be clear. Had I ever actually been a true, like, card-carrying racist, because I'm not racist now, if I got up on camera and apologized for it and said I've seen the errors of my ways and I cried, people would love me. Like if I got up and cried and apologized, I would get so many fans. People would be like, "Oh man," I would get so many followers for it. People would love me for that until they found out that it's not true and I actually wasn't, and they research it and they find out that it's never true, and then I lied. I'd be screwed. See what I mean? But like it is a financial move. If it was really true and there was any real evidence, I would capitalize on it. Like I'd straight up get up and cry on camera and apologize. Right? Because why wouldn't I? I'm a businessman. But again, I'd get caught in the lie when people realize I actually was never, it's not even true. It would come back to bite me. So it wouldn't be worth it. Hulk Hogan is a golden era legend. Chris Rock put out a good guide on when it's a saltine American candy. Can't use it. I'm just not going to risk using it in general, man. It's just probably not a good idea. I don't know if there's a, probably just unwise. Hulk Hogan wrestled much different than he was in Japan years ago. Hulk Hogan is still the GOAT. Say it, Jason. He kind of is, dude. Weird that Max didn't train uninjured limbs since he trains exclusively on machines. It makes it even easier to train the other side without needing stabilizers. Exactly, Marco. I said all that. Do you think Lowbliner talks smack on you because he is insecure making OnlyFans himself? I think he wanted to take a pop at me, but I also think he felt like giving me some free advertising because I picked up followers directly from his video. Literally, people came over to my OnlyFans and joined from watching his video. So he technically put money in my pocket. But I think he wanted to start a beef too. He wants a beef because a beef would be good for business. I may give him one. We may retell that goat story again. All right. Do you think okay, what are good mornings for? They're a hip hinge exercise. They're a phenomenal exercise for improving your deadlift and for improving your squat lockout. All right. I meant for his sake in public, I don't think it's to use it because, yeah, exactly, dude. All right. And my channel doesn't get anywhere near the traffic it used to, bros. A lot of my old stuff still gets views, though. They just trickle in. I have old videos that just make more money than the new stuff sometimes. What do you do? Right? What do you do? Coach, is there a difference in terms of leverages when it comes to foot stance and hip hinges like RDLs, stiff leg deadlifts, etc.? Yeah, foot position will affect the emphasis a little bit, just like stance on squats and everything else, right? So usually the narrower the stance, you're going to see a slight bias towards the hamstrings, right? Whereas you're going to see a little more hip adductor, which is going to be certain parts of the glute and stuff also when you go out a little bit wider, right? I mean, I don't want you to think it's a massive difference, but the emphasis does matter. Yeah, I'll give you a Mount by Cepheus, Joe. Oh, Mount by Cepheus. Will you ever delete the outdated videos from years ago? No, and I've said why many times. One, it would take a whole production crew to do it, thousands of hours. Two, it's a documentary. It kind of highlights a full timeline and case study of all of my content and work that I've made over the years. Right? It's like an old library. It's a little legacy that hopefully will still be here many years after I'm gone somewhere in some database. What would be a good stance width on good mornings? Depends on what you're trying to do. If I want to go real heavy, I like them a little wider. If I just want to go hamstrings, I go a little narrow. But if I want to really hit big lifts, I go pretty wide. Like when you see me start getting into that 500 plus pound range in the past, those were pretty wide because I want that squat transfer, right? You ever put on the +5 hat? I don't know if I even have it. Do close stance good mornings work more hamstring and wide stance more glute? To some extent, yeah. But the wider stance works all the hip extensors more because certain parts of muscles are involved. Hey, old school, it's not worth worrying about. If you don't know the reference and didn't watch that series of videos for those years, it's no big deal. It was just a prop. It was literally just a prop on my channel that had no meaning. It used to be, hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for current events in the online fitness community. Let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing and let's talk about it. I had a hat I used to put on when I would hand load cartridges while talking on camera. It was a shtick I did for a few years, right? So that's what they're talking about. And it was a gaming reference, a +5 hat, like statistics, +5 hat of weaponsmithing. Although some people used to call it my +5 hat of speechcraft. I don't know who you are, Danny. I do a lot of hand loading. Yep. Jason, what do you think the new looks? I think it's silly. From what I've seen of it, it's guys who don't even know anything about what women want. Did you consent to AI scraping all of your content? Yeah, I did. It's all good. The +5 hat of money, dude. Those videos did make a lot of money. When I used to do all that drama stuff, this channel made like $5 grand a month in ad revenue. By the way, guys, I like this acting like I didn't hit 496 squat in my last competition with no sleeves. Okay, guys. All right. What if we get an AI Blaha? I don't know what you mean. So why don't you go back down to what worked then 5K? Because the amount of time that I had to spend researching other channels. You do realize I spent hours every day watching other YouTube fitness people just to discuss all of it. It's almost like a news thing and to give criticism and all of that of all of it. So I used to have to watch hours of YouTube fitness every single day. And it just drained my soul listening to the stupidity. I would rather coach. I would rather do other stuff. Hell, I'd rather sell nude pictures to dudes than to watch hours of these blithering fucking idiots every day. In fact, the stupidity in YouTube fitness and these morons who literally have no clue what they're talking about other than how to pin trend. I would rather pour Tabasco sauce in my pee hole than sit there and listen to them for hours. Audio is cutting out, but I fixed it. Some days you feel this, some you don't. Yeah, it's for my Discord class, a chemistry class for my professor and friends class. We're going to be there. It's just to get good grades, explain about the human body. I don't know about that, Daniel. I don't like to hop into people's discords. You never know how that's going to go. Jason, if asked to collab with Max Uca and Milo for a strength training debate, oh, that would be rich. These influencers wouldn't be able to train themselves out of a wet paper bag without the copious amounts of gear they're on. Because I don't game at all, Daniel. I haven't video gamed in years. I watched old videos today of the incomparable deadlifter Lamar Grant will never be equaled. Lamar Grant was a goat. He's definitely a goat. Yep. I know exactly who you're talking about. How long? Not long, because what you reap is what you sow. Sorry, I sound like Rage Against the Machine there. Jason, you were vegan once before you were good. No, I'm not going to do that. Hey, Daniel, it's all good, man. The neck's doing really good now. It's doing way better. I think a lot of my neck cramping and the crick I had in my neck was related to the AC joint too. When I was reading the symptoms, that's a factor. That's actually one of the symptoms of the inflammation I was experiencing from the wide grip benching. When did you last game? I don't know. Tristan, I couldn't tell you for sure. I can tell you the last game I played was Skyrim. It's been a few years. I don't know, 2-3 years since I played it last, and I wasn't playing it that much. Let's reflect on Strap-on and his moronic antics. Remember the time he shoved tampons in his nose when he attempted an 800 pounds, 1 inch off the rack jump? Yeah, why do people want to give me a hard time? We had Strap-on stuffing tampons in his nose to do 800-pound, 1 inch rack pulls. Why do people want to harass me? You don't see me doing anything that stupid. Does bad diet increase chance of injury? I believe that it does. Marco, I personally believe that it does, yes. Fair enough, it's not really productive. Exactly, man. But yeah, as far as that other question, though, about that money, it's just soul draining for me to sit there and listen to people who are so stupid about lifting talk about it for hours every day. I just can't. It was literally like destroying my soul. I was literally losing lifting knowledge listening to these blithering idiots. I was hemorrhaging IQ and training knowledge, just absorbing their stupidity through osmosis to do those videos. Again, just soul destroying. Might as well go work at a corporate job at that point. So you can listen to blithering idiots tell you what to do all day. You know, just saying, guys. I mean, can you imagine if I need to do these current events and I had to listen to Max Uca, listen to 3 hours of this blithering idiot's videos after the stuff he just said in his injury video? Damn. I would probably get smaller and weaker just by absorbing bad knowledge and subconsciously implementing it. Yep. Did you learn British when living in the UK? I'm from Texas. English is our native language. Bro Sidon, king of the Broshan. All right. Brawley, Brosit, Broham, Brohamalis, Orb. How many different ways can we say bro? Do you even lift Brosit? All right. Actually, it would be dost thou even hoist Brosit? All this stuff popping up. Hold on. A second, I got one of these I need to see. Should have learned some Scottish. Everyone swears in every sentence, right? How long do you rest in between sets? Why do you refuse the finger push-ups? Why would I want to do finger? What is this nonsense? Why don't you do some speed benching with chains? How's that? You do some weighted dips. What are you talking about? Finger push-ups? Just nonsense. You trying to make me weak? This is not for weak people with their little goofball. I play the guitar, dude. I don't have weak fingers. Come on, shut up. You guys have seen me type 70 words a minute. Are you trying to make me weak? This channel's for strong people. This is for strong people, man. I want to do finger hip push-ups because I saw some anime character doing it, like Naruto, like Frenchie in his little rice bucket challenge. I saw some monk in Dragon Ball Z doing finger push-ups. So I'm going to eat some Hot Pockets and wear a fedora while I do it. What is this shit? Get out of here. Is watching prawn for motivation before lifting, only if it's my stuff's not prawn though, technically. So even on my OnlyFans, dude, it's PG-13 on the main, and the pay-per-view doesn't go past R-rated, but it pays. Do you like hip thrusts? I think hip thrusts are a good exercise. Yeah. Do you prefer? I'm going back to close grip like I used to preach for a decade. Strong people and people that will get strong, right? Bruce Lee used to do finger training. Yeah, but Bruce Lee did a lot of barbell training too. So, Morgan, I'm not even going to jump into those topics. Daniel says, I snort pre-workout. I learned that from Rich Piano because he told me in person and raw meat in my diet. Hey, Daniel, I definitely don't believe that you're doing a nutrition class now. Marco, I've done whole videos on it recently, multiple videos. If you look, I did some with the stuff in the title on it, why I went back to close grip benching a week ago. Like I preached for 10 years. I went away from it for 2 years and I'm back. The shoulder inflammation is just not worth it. And I was never surpassed my close grip strength with it. When I glute bridge, I don't really feel it in my glutes. I think it's footing. Maybe get your feet in tighter. Your feet are too far out. Get them in closer. Man, I really miss Rich Piano. Daniel was good. No, Rich was not a great guy. I don't feel like covering that over and over again. Could you summarize? Tristan, I've already done whole videos on it. Coach, I do both body workouts and heavy weights is making you stronger and more functional than just lifting. I do weighted body weight exercises. I do weighted shins, weighted pull-ups, weighted dips, weighted glute ham raises. Sounds silly, but how much close as possible? Right now, I'm benching 16 to 17 inches. I mean, did you not watch the max effort clip today? It's literally right there in my shorts plus the vlog. You can literally see me do a closed grip bench in the shorts today. You doing speed work now? Yep, I started on Friday. I'll be doing speed benching on Thursday, speed squats and pulls on Friday. Koneski can't stay on the amount of gear he was on years ago. He can't. No, I mean when doing glute bridges, just find whatever's comfortable on the stance. Right. Whatever's comfortable. Right. Ricky, only clients who want to do conjugate. Only if they want to do conjugate. So, I mean, that's the way that works with it. Although when I did conjugate in the other vlogs, I got way more clients. I have a feeling it'll probably kick up clients. And there's some truth to that. I had a guy who had wanted to come on, and then he kind of didn't show up, and he's a longtime follower. He messaged me this morning while I was sleeping that, hey, he's ready to come on and pay tomorrow, ready to get started. I think he's going to want conjugate based on his training history. So it's probably going to kick business up, yeah. Coach, do you think NH will gain a gut from the excessive amounts of carbs and foods he eats? No. The lack of protein can be a problem. Is it funny seeing these guys blasting gear for years, get sick and have to come off lower dose? Yep. That's why I say, guys, if you be conservative, I mean, I'm chilling on TRT. I'm not losing size. I'm literally on 125 milligrams of test sip from my doctor. That's my whole stack. If you're genetically gifted, you don't have to blast. You can take a little bit of gear and pull. Yeah, dude. If you got good genetics on little gear for a long period of time, it's freak mode. I've seen that video with you staring at that one guy lifting. You were intense. Right? Which one? There have been multiple videos where I'm staring at people lifting. Do you change your clients' programs as much as you change yours? Depends on what they need, Robert. Hey, Robert, you sound like a hater. I'm going to put you in the corner. You go stand in the corner, little boy. Daddy will let you out later. Do you think SARMs are worthwhile in any context? No. SARMs are worthwhile if you want the same side effects as steroids, but want to pay more and for less gains. That's the only context for using SARMs. Hey, William, was it in a gym? Was I spotting him? Was it a powerlifting meet? Or was it? Because there's all sorts of stuff like that. So your clients get to decide. No, not always, Ricky. I mean, they obviously get an input, but I get people who come and tell me I want conjugate or something like that, or they don't want conjugate. Otherwise, we sit down and discuss what's ideal for their situation when we do the intakes. We literally talk about it for an hour in a video call in a gym. Oh man, I don't know then, William. It could be any number of things. So is this whole SARMs having a lower risk profile than gear? Yeah, that's a myth. Actually, that's just marketing by the little research companies and people pimping them. There's no evidence to think that at all. The FDA doesn't feel that way. All right, guys, there's not much going on in here. I might wind this down here shortly. Unless people are dropping supers or something, I can go jump on another project. I think we've covered the basics here. So I hope it's been informative. I love all you guys and gals, and I will talk to you next time.